Hey YouTube, it's Artie. Anybody that says money will make you happy hasn't got money. Said a guy with money. The lack of money is the root of all evil. That was said by Mark Twain. Did you guys know that not only was he an awesome author who wrote cool books, but he actually traded in the stock market? He lost $4 million when he was 59. It was like his whole fortune. He bet it on a typesetting company. It was gonna be a revolutionary technology. It was gonna make him rich, gonna do great things, and he lost it all. So he was pretty cynical when it came to money. And a lot of us, if we don't have money, we have a lot of emotions. You have anger, frustration, guilt, self-doubt, negative emotions that will hound you like this big monster, just daring you to move. Your whole view changes. How much did that cost? How can she afford to go there? I want to be able to drive that car. Hey, you owe me 50 bucks. Oh, pay me later? I guess. Venmo, maybe? While getting some money may not fix all our problems, having some extra cash definitely won't hurt anything either. When you become financially free, you won't have to worry about how you're gonna afford your bills, where you're gonna get money for rent. Instead of focusing on the negatives, you're actually gonna be able to do positives, be able to go where you wanna go, to do the things you wanna do. Maybe you might even be able to just leave your 9-to-5 job and follow your dream. And maybe not only follow your dream, but make that dream a reality. So what's the first step? It'll be to get an emergency fund. Doesn't sound super fancy, but emergency fund's very necessary. Why, you may ask? Well, next time your tire blows out or your car choke, your car will choke on you. Cars don't choke. Washing machine springs a leak, or your kid floods your bathroom, or maybe your pets get sick, or maybe you lose your job. Life will happen to you. So emergencies happen. It's a good idea to be able to put aside about $1,000 just to have a cushion in case life happened. Dave Ramsey had a pretty cool example. There was a young couple, they wanted to get out of debt. So what they did was they put their emergency fund into a glass case and they put a nice little label that said, "Break only in case of emergency." Now this emergency fund is only for emergency. No such things as, I really need that hot tub for my sore back. No, that's not gonna work. It's for emergencies. It's for smashing that like button. Let's go to step number 2, cash flow. What is cash flow? In college, we learned that cash flow is for businesses. A strong business is gonna have more money coming in than going out. Well, that kind of makes sense, but did you know that you also have I can't even talk. You also have cash flow. So, is your cash flow bringing dollars into your pocket, or are you losing money and dollars are leaving your pocket? That would be negative cash flow. That's bad. So you have a job and you got a raise and you decide, hey, you can get that nicer car, that nicer place to live at, you can take those nicer trips, and all of a sudden, you just murdered your cash flow. Instead of having dollars come in, you're stuck. Every month, you're paying the bills and you barely can keep up, and you get stuck in a place called generational poverty. You have a choice to be different. Dave Ramsey said, live like no one else, so later on, you can live like no one else. Here's a story to show my point. A guy named John was with his girlfriend at a car dealership. She needed her car inspected and checked over, so he's sitting there, looking over the magazines. He kind of got bored. There's not much else to do. So he starts walking around the showroom. And there's the usual nice cars, and then all of a sudden, a nice red convertible. So what does John do? He says no, walks away? No. He walks up to it, he touches it, opens that door, gets in the car. And of course the salesman walks right on up and says, hey, it's a pretty nice car, right? So John looks over, yeah, it's pretty nice. How much does it cost? Salesman gives him a number. And John, before he even knows what he's saying, he said, yeah, if you take $2,000 off, I'll buy it. John signs some paperwork. So John walks over to his girlfriend and her car is all ready and they leave. A couple of hours later, he says, hey, I forgot something at the car dealership. They drive back up to the car dealership. He didn't tell her what it was. They drive up to the car dealership and park right next to that nice red convertible. And she asks him, John, what did you forget? And he says, oh, just this. So what can we learn from this? Warren Buffett has a lot of really cool, wise things to say, street smart stuff. Here's a quote I really like by him. Don't save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving. Another quote about saving money is, do you know the fastest way to double your money? Fold it over, put it back in your pocket. But on a more serious note, most people today can't get financial independent not because they don't work hard enough. but because they got stuck in a situation maybe they were led into, maybe they didn't know what was gonna happen, and they're stuck in a place where every last penny they earn has to go to bills. Maybe they weren't taught this in school, maybe nobody told them about money, made it so far in this world, but they're stuck financially because they have no cash flow coming in. So make a plan for every dollar and have positive cash flow. So let's say you're doing amazing. You got your emergency fund, you got that positive cash flow. It's putting dollars into your pocket, not just taking them out of your pocket. So let's talk about the next step. Now you're ready for the secret, biggest wealth building secret. That's a lot of secrets. Now you're ready for the wealth building secret that people have known for thousands of years. It's called investing. Now hold on, before you just leave and say investing's too risky. I heard of 1929, the Great Depression, the stock market crashes, year 2000 dot-com bubble that burst and people lost tons of money, 2008 housing market crash, and just last year there was the lockdown that caused the economy to just grind to a standstill. Then you may think investing's a little too risky, a little bit too much. So before you leave, this part's gonna get a little boring. So if you make it through, hit that like button. Imagine from the age of 20 to 30, so for 10 years, 20, 30, that's 10. 10 years, $250 every paycheck. At the end of those 10 years, at 10%, you're gonna have about $50,000. So let's say you put not a single penny more in there, and all you're gonna do is sit on that money. Just let it grow on its own in a broad index fund. By the time that you retire, over $1.4 million. That's called compound interest. Here's another cool story. In 2015, a small community in Vermont got one heck of a surprise. The hospital and the library and a couple other places in the community got a crazy huge donation. Altogether it was $5 million that was donated to them. Where did this money come from? It's an old man. So this was a local gas station attendant, janitor, saved and invested. He had more than $8 million of net worth. And all that on a just gas station attendant salary. He never earned a lot of money, but he invested, and compound interest made that grow. You probably have a 401k as well. So imagine if your 401k, they're giving you 4% match, the average, about $2,000 every year free that you're getting. That doesn't seem like much possibly, but that amount invested, that's gonna be over $1.5 million. It just adds up. You invest, it grows a little bit. You invest, it grows a little bit, but then it grows more and more and more. And before you know it, the magic of compound interest takes a small amount and magically transforms it into substantial amount of wealth. If you stuck it through, hit that like button. We'll go on to our next step. Now, before I go on, I gotta make sure I tell you, I am a random guy on YouTube. Shouldn't be saying this to you because you should understand, but as a disclaimer, I am not your financial advisor. I'm not gonna tell you where to put your money. Any examples I'll give on my channel and what I'm doing, that's just what I'm doing. This is for entertainment purposes only. Another very important step in your financial freedom is knowledge. Now, sometimes that gets a little overhyped. It's very important to have solid, basic knowledge on how finances work. For example, a friend of mine came up to me to ask me for some money. Now, he needed help. This person has been making some poor financial choices for a couple years now. He's put himself into a corner, and I had an interesting proposition for him. I got an idea. I'm gonna give you this little book. It's about 50 pages, not very big. You read through this book, and I'll give you the money. He opened up the book. He kind of looked through a couple pages and tells me, oh, I know what these books are about. I don't need this book. The reality was, that education, the knowledge in that little book is so much more valuable to him than if somebody actually gave him $10,000. Growing up, my parents never talked about money. I'm not sure if your parents talked about money. Did you guys learn much about money in school? Did you learn about liabilities and assets, investing? I didn't learn this stuff in school. Comment down below and tell me your interesting stories about money or different things that happened to you as a child or as a teenager or maybe as a young adult that really helped to teach you about money. But we all know that in school, we just weren't taught as much as what we should know. Does that give us an excuse? Can we say, well, I didn't know? Maybe. Or maybe we can equip ourselves with knowledge. But it's very important to have a basic understanding on how finances work. You have more money coming in than going out. The extra, invest, put into assets that grow over time instead of liabilities that cost you money. And the difference will add up over time. Now, where else can you learn about this topic? Here's a shameless plug. This channel right here, you can subscribe. I will be covering a lot more about personal finance and personal growth in general. Great books that you can read, podcasts, different other resources out there. So if you're interested, sign down below. Last but not least, somebody's calling me. The last part is probably the most important of all. Set a goal, set a destination for yourself. If you plan to fail, nobody plans to fail. Wait, let me tell you this again. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. You should set yourself a realistic goal. Nothing that's too crazy. You're not gonna wake up at 4:30 in the morning all of a sudden. You're not gonna go to the gym 5 times a week if you haven't been to the gym much. You're not gonna start saving $1,000 out of nowhere every single paycheck. But start slow. If you wanna climb a huge mountain, guess what you gotta do? 1 step at a time. Constant forward motion. That's the magic of compound interest. That's the magic of making yourself a better person every single day. Today, I'm better than I was yesterday. Today, I'm much better than I was a week ago. Today, stronger person than I was a month ago. Now, you're gonna make yourself a goal or plan. Be aware that life will throw curveballs your way or throw punches. Iron Mike said this: everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Maybe your plan is to read a book on personal finances this week, and that plan will grow to read another book later this month. And before you know it, you might read 10 books over the next year. So don't look at the big goal right away. You wanna read some books, you wanna get some education. What can you do today? How can you move forward today? So today, I'll start reading a book. Next week, I'll read another. Maybe your goal is to find out what is a 401k. Next step, find out what kind of options do you have in your 401k. Next step after that is find what's a risk tolerance that you're able to go with. And last step, you can direct your own 401k. You can figure out your own risk tolerance, and you can direct your own destiny with your wealth. That sounds a little bit too much. Goals should be made of small, attainable steps that you can do today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. Here's an example. I got 2 friends, both awesome guys. First guy, he's 21. His plan is to have a net worth of $500,000 by the time he's 25. He's 21, then by 25, he wants to have a net worth of $500,000. That's pretty ambitious. Does he have a plan? He does. He has a plan, he's following it, he's doing individual steps to move him forward. The second friend, he also has a goal to become a millionaire. Ask him, how's he gonna do it? Does he have a plan? Nope, he's just gonna become a millionaire. He's gonna be rich. He has no plan, he has no steps to get there. What's his chance of getting there? Write yourself a goal for next week, next month, next year, 5 years, and 10 years away. Don't put your own self-worth into your goal, but realize your goals will help you move forward. It's not that you should have guilt about, oh man, I should be a lot farther in life. Guess what? We're all at different stages in our life. You're not where I'm at. I'm not where you're at. I'm not where a lot of guys my age are at. They're way farther ahead, but that's okay. I know that I have a goal and I'm gonna start moving forward. You have an amazing future ahead of you. You can start your amazing tomorrow, today. Start moving forward. I'm starting this journey here on YouTube, something new, to something uncomfortable, but guess what? I'm excited to see where this is gonna take me, and I wanna take you guys along on this journey. So subscribe, hit that like button, comment down below. It doesn't cost you anything, but it'll definitely help me along, and let's grow together. Can't wait to see you again soon. Wish you all well. Artie out.